don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud. Shining light on the less shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand. Freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand. For freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.
I hear every day about the products you all wish My Pillow carried. Well, guess what? I hear every day about the products you all wish My Pillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, potholders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard My Pillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use My Pillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Per Kill and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all My Pillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard My Pillows absolutely free.
That's right, folks. Absolutely free. Make sure you head over to MyPillow.com. Support companies that support you. America first, made in America. Again, head over to MyPillow.com and use promo code Oreo. We thank you because it helps us out here and it helps out a great patriot in Mike Lindell. Thank you all for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about. We got a busy show today. We even have folks calling Trump a homophobe now. If you can imagine that. We got a great Supreme Court ruling. We're going to get into that. We got some action over the weekend. We got some more arrests at the ICE facility in Portland. We got we got Rhino saying they'll switch their party to Democrat. We got a whole bunch of fun. Let me jump into the chat really quick. We got Trina in here. Hello, Trina. Micro Taz is in the house. Susan K. Spencer, Real Sweet, Rob Wallace, Texas Bigfoot. Let's see who's down here. Pixie says round 2. Let's see. Rob Wallace is in the house. Not sure if I said that. KLM 79. Let's get down to the bottom. Texas Bigfoot, Hunter, Nola, Deb V, Dashhound Grandma, Mom X Swift. All the homies are jumping in here right now. What's up? Thank you guys for tuning in. If I could ask you a favor and hit that like button, it helps us out tremendously. And just want to say thank you for everybody who tunes in and watches us. We can't do any of this without you. And let me pull up my comments over here. Cool deal. I got the comments on. Hopefully they'll scroll. My comments have been freezing on the studio, but I have it up on 2 screens. So this one should not freeze, guys. So we've had a pretty eventful day, if you will. Kind of went out with a dud. There's a lot of people praying and hoping for World War III. A lot of the Democrat influencers, and then there is some warmongers that want World War III. And we're going to get into that. There's some speculation that might have been the climax of everything. We'll talk about that. Talk about Trump, what he tweeted, and more. So once again, thank you for tuning in. I just want to cover this right here. This is in Missouri. I want to show you this right here. This is epic. I guess they got a little heat wave in Missouri, and it's causing the road to buckle. This person wasn't paying attention to the road, and take a look at this. Take a look at this. If you look at it right here, that road's up in the air right there. Boom. It's like buckling while he's there. Oh. Yeah, something blew out underneath. If you look, I don't know if what it was, a gas line, a water line. I doubt it was a water, but look at that dust right before he gets to it. Boom, it just buckles. Now, I have seen a sinkhole before. I have seen a sinkhole before. I have not seen that before. That is some interesting stuff. So, and then we got some other news that happened yesterday. A man rammed his car into a church in Michigan. It was Wayne, Michigan. Luckily, a good guy with a gun. So this guy rammed his car into the church. One of the attendees of the church hit him with his car, and a security guard shot him. He was armed with a gun, and this was actually the video from inside the church. They didn't have no clue what was going on. The audio's not that good, but take a look at this. It's a short video.
A chorale in every day, and our songs help do that, and so did our games. But that doesn't mean that we didn't have. That doesn't mean we didn't have time for Bible stories, science experiments, snacks, and learning important Bible verses that the kids could take with them. We hope that after the service you'll stay and move around the foyer and let the kids tell you about the great treats we had this week, and have some too. Thank you.
Everybody's starting to move. See that dude in the blue shirt? He was pulling right there.
Everybody to the back. Please,
Always
everybody
Carrie.
come to the
Always
back.
Carrie.
Come to the back. They gotta come. They gotta come. Come on. Out, I don't think is a good idea.
Her audio cuts out because she's got a wireless mic and she's moving away from the receiver, the transmitter. Let me give you an update on that, and here is that update.
Officers arrived and determined that the suspect arrived at the church and began to drive recklessly, drawing the attention of church staff. The suspect
Hold on, let me fix something really quick because I have the audio on in the other one. Still going. There we go.
exited his vehicle wearing a tactical vest, armed with a long gun and a handgun. He approached the church building and began firing his weapon. Several staff members from the church approached the gunman. A parishioner struck the gunman with his vehicle as the gunman shot the vehicle repeatedly. At least 2 staff members shot the gunman, causing fatal wounds. One staff member was shot once in the leg by the suspect. We are grateful for the heroic actions of the church's staff members, who undoubtedly saved many lives and prevented a large-scale mass shooting. The gunman is a 31-year-old white male from Romulus. His motivations are unknown, but at this point it appears he was suffering from a mental health crisis.
So once again, you don't hear stories. If he would have gotten off with that mass shooting, we would hear about gun reform, gun control, taking away guns from legal owners. We would have heard a lot of stuff. But when you see a good guy with a gun, what do you hear? Nothing. Silence. God bless the Second Amendment, and God bless that church for having its staff armed. I think every church should do that. And echo, hold on. Okay, I fixed the echo. I don't know why it keeps jumping over to that. I'm going to have to delete that one from the program. Should be fine now. And then again, last night, unfortunately, LAPD has confirmed that a veteran LAPD officer died responding to the immediate aftermath of a crash on SB 405 near Getty Center this morning. That officer that was on the 405 freeway crash. And I think we might have something more on that. This is Chief Jim McDonald confirmed that Sergeant Shio Dang died from the died at the hospital after being hit by a passing car after he got out of his vehicle to assist with a car crash on the 405 freeway. So the story that I'm hearing right now is that he had his pulled over to an accident, turned on his lights like they normally do, got out of the vehicle and was struck. So prayers for that family, prayers for everybody involved in that. Again, what a way to, these people put their lives on the line every day for us. And again, leave not knowing if they're ever going to come home. And so prayers for that officer there. Check this out. I know you guys this is how, I don't know. I'm wondering who wants their weather delivered like this. This is out of Portland, Maine. Maine has some issues, guys. Maine has some serious issues. Take a watch.
Hello, everybody. I am Chartreuse Money, and today, as current temperatures right here, Saturday, it's 2:40 p.m. 80 degrees here in Portland right now, honey, and we are feeling the effects. The sun is out. All it took was a pride parade to bring the sunshine out today, but honey, it is hot all over the state. We got 78 degrees in Lewiston. I know the people of Lewiston, Auburn are probably celebrating and jumping in the river. Please don't do that. Be safe because it is hot, 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 and we need to find relief. Sanford's 81. Portsmouth down in New Hampshire is a lovely 83. Honey, the water is 56 degrees, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds so tropical, but you still got to be careful, okay? Hypothermia is real, so take it easy. 78 degrees in Waterville, 71 degrees in Greenville, and 76 in Millinocket. And shout out to my friends up in Caribou. I see you up there, Caribou. It's 73 degrees up there. Hope you're having a good old time. Here's the country, honey. It is hot and humid in the central part of the country near Chicago, I'm seeing. And down there near Raleigh, honey, there is an H with circles, which I can only assume means hurricane. Doesn't mean hurricane, high honey. Pressure. It means high pressure, honey. Don't worry. Don't worry. There is no hurricane coming Raleigh, North Carolina. Don't worry. Atlanta, don't you worry either. Sorry about that.
Man, we've dodged some big bullets in this country, but that could have been on every broadcast across this country if Kamala Harris would have won. That would have been pushed and promoted. And if you didn't want to see that while you were watching the weather, you're a homophobic bigot. I'm not left speechless often, but I think this is kind of crazy what we are seeing. The way they try to push this in your household, the way they want it in front of your kids, the way, again, I just find it absolutely, and again, it's Portland, Maine. It doesn't shock me at all. But could you imagine having to get your weather like that every day? That would be crazy. Jan Garner says, Oreo Army challenge by any means you want. Gibson Go, Zell, etc. Let's show Josh how much we love him and what he does. Thank you, Jan Garner, for that challenge. So we got a donation challenge. Jan Garner did $10. Thank you so much. And you're also entered into our raffle. I appreciate everybody that helps out. Every little bit helps. You guys don't understand how far we've been behind on the bills for months. Speaking of that, I wanted to tell you, I haven't had an opportunity to tell you, hope most of the Oreo Army's in here, but we are getting ready to get rid of the Speedwagon. The Speedwagon has ran its course. It has done us well, and it just has so many problems. It'll start and run, but it has so many issues. It's about $3,400 to fix. The car's not worth putting $3,400 in it. So we're putting it online. I'm going to sell it for I called the junkyard. They give me like $900. So I'm going to put it online for $1,500. see if anybody wants to come repair it. It has some problems internally with the engine. It has a sensor out and it has a radiator leak now. So that's going to be going by. We're going to have to get another car soon. We're not focused on that yet, but we're going to use the money we sell to fix the other car that we have issues with right now. We have a wheel bearing and a front end suspension issue on the Edge. So everything always helps out. We always got bills. We're always behind. And I just want to say thank you for all you guys that support us. But we might be doing a fundraiser here in the next couple weeks where I'll get a rental car and we'll do like 5 nights straight of police calls and see if we can round up some money so we can get another vehicle for the road. That's the whole reason we haven't been traveling a whole lot for the last couple months. We've had issues with it pretty bad. The Edge isn't good for going out of town. That's not going to make it. It's an older vehicle. It's the family vehicle. It's beat up. We've had it forever. It almost has 200,000 miles on it too. But we are going to be, but every time we have to rent a rental car and it's much more expensive to do that. You guys have helped us out, but we're going to focus on getting another fuel efficient vehicle just to travel. So thank you once again, Jan, for your support. Let's see. Now, we talked about a lot of major sponsors. We just seen that drag queen give the weather. I know that's probably what brought First Amendment Media in here, Matt. He probably had it on in the background. So I got to jump into chat. This is awesome. But more and more big box stores, a lot of the DEI policies have ended. And now they have these Pride Fests that people want to spend $150,000, $250,000 on a Pride to celebrate what they do in their bedroom, and they're not getting the money. Jonathan Cho put this up today. It says, tough times for Seattle Pride Fest. After several corporate sponsors exited this year's festivities due to a DEI rollback, organizers are trying to make up for the loss with the GoFundMe. Seattle Pride is still scheduled for June 29th, and Pride Fest is happening June 28th and 29th. But what happens if the funding goals are not met? So they want to raise $75,000. Imagine what that could do to for the starving people. And right now they are at 15,130 raised. I wish I could raise that much just for a new Speedwagon. That would be excellent. But I guess people just want to donate to what people do in their bedrooms, right? Oh, that is crazy. Again, we've covered this. Multiple towns have said this. There's already been some canceled Pride celebrations canceled because they lost their sponsors. Your tax dollars, the money you spent at corporate America went and funded this. And now that we've had a DEI rollback, your money's no longer going to fund this. And that is great news. We remember Robbie Starbuck worked with a lot of different corporations and everything else. Hats off to him. And had them roll back their DEI policies. That would be more inclusive to America instead of what people do in their bedrooms. So that's a little bit of a highlight. And Pam Bondi in a hearing, I want you to watch this. I want you to watch this. This is funny. That these goofballs. How do you end up looking like this? That's what I want to know. How do you end up looking like that? Take a listen.
The flow of dangerous illegal drugs like fentanyl.
As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead. Please tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
let
me answer the question for you. I'm going to answer it for you. Page. Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question. It's page 146 of the department's fiscal year 2026 budget, and the performance summary explicitly says, and let me quote, ATF will eliminate 541 industry operation investigators, reducing ATF's capacity to regulate the firearms and explosive industries by approximately 40% in fiscal year 2026.
Listen to how she unhinged, man. These liberals are just absolutely unhinged. She goes, I tried to answer your question a lot more calmly than you. These people are they just can't handle it, guys. They are seriously to the point of explosion. That's why they are demanding the riots in the streets and everything else. Now I want you to listen to this. This one is an interesting one. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. Is Senator Lisa Murkowski says she's open to leaving the GOP, which I'll be honest, good. She's never been a conservative. She plays both sides of the fence. If she wants to support men in women's restrooms, open borders, and everything else, we would rather have her on the Democrat side anyways. She makes the Republican Party look extremely bad. Take a listen to this.
Say Democrats win 3 seats in the next midterm election in the Senate, and they say, we're going to let you pass bills that benefit Alaskans if you caucus with us. You don't have to become a Democrat. You can be an independent, but if you caucus with us and provide the sort of 4th vote that we need to get from where we are now, and you can pass legislation that helps Alaskans, would you do it?
It's an interesting hypothetical. You've started off with the right hook here is if this would help Alaskans, because at the end of the day,
I know you.
Yeah, you do.
I've done my reading.
Yeah, see? This is why this book is kind of scary, because now people know what motivates me, and it's this love for Alaska and what I can do. So that's my primary goal. I have to figure out how I can be most effective for the people that I serve. That's why I'm going to continue to do a really hard job, because I want to try to help people. My problem with your hypothetical is that as challenged as I think we may be on the Republican side, I don't see the Democrats being much better, and they've got not only their share of problems, but quite honestly, they've got some policies that I just inherently disagree with. One of the things that I thought was interesting in the book when we're writing it was this whole effort prior to me deciding that I was going to launch the write-in. People were looking at what happened after the primary, and they said the only way that you are going to retain this seat is if you basically have your name on the ballot, and the only way to do that is to basically carry the flag of the Libertarian Party, because that was the only party outside of the Republicans and Democrats. And so they said, basically, can you be a libertarian for a day to get elected? And they dangled that in front of me. And all of the people that I was talking to said, this is, of course, what you have to do. And I said, I can't do that. I can't be somebody that I'm not. I can't now say, I want this job so much that I'm going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. That's not who I am.
But I guess the question is, you wouldn't become a Democrat, right? In this situation, you would be independent. And the next time Republicans are close to a majority, you could caucus with them. But I guess I more ask, is there a world in which by becoming unaligned or an independent, you could help Alaskans, that you consider it?
There may be that possibility. And let me put it into context from where I'm from. In Alaska right now, our legislature is governed by coalition. In the Senate, I think it's...
Again, she has not been good for America. She has not been good for Alaska. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Alaska. We've asked that for a couple times now.
What is it, 12?
And, the Alaska that we all think we know, we truly don't know it. If they're electing this crazy person in there. So Trump's put this out, and this is why Trump's being called a homophobe. He calls Anderson Cooper Allison Cooper. I love it. The sites that we hit in Iran were totally destroyed, and everyone knows it. Only the fake news would say anything different. in order to try and demean as much as possible. And even they say they were pretty well destroyed. Working especially hard on this falsehood is Allison Cooper of Fake News CNN, dumb Brian L. Roberts, chairman of Comcast, John Carl of ABC Fake News, and always the losers of, again, Comcast, NBC Fake News. It never ends with these sleaze bags in the media, and that's why their ratings are all-time low. Now, we're going to give you some news that came out right when we went live in a minute. Some great news about what's going on with Israel and Iran. Trump and his actions do not appear to be consistent with the U.S. Constitution. That's coming from Speaker Hakeem Jeffries. Take a listen to
must
this.
Be approved by Donald Trump and his actions, which do not appear to be consistent with the United States Constitution, takes unilateral offensive military action without seeking the approval of the United States Congress. The use of military force, which is offensive in nature, must be approved by the House and the Senate. That's according to the Constitution. It's not
Article
optional.
2. So how many remember when Biden bombed the Houthis? 2024. Or when Obama, 2,000 something missiles in his last year in office. What was that? 2016, right? I just find it amazing. Let me see if this one's going to load yet. I don't know why this one's having such a hard time loading. We might skip over that since, yeah, it's not going to load. Let me close that one out. It's just spinning. This one says, Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response, which we expected and have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and 1 was set free because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I am pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system. Listen to this. They've gotten it all out of their system. And there will hopefully be no further hate. It says, I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So when you talk about the art of the deal, we use that term a lot for Trump. You ask yourself, well, wait a second here. Trump's getting us into World War III. Then you had people that wanted World War III. Believe it or not, there was people out there that wanted World War III. Let me see if this one will pop up. And what we wanted, and what I told you, again, I wasn't being a warmonger. I wasn't being overly critical. I thought that the team that Trump has put in to strategize, and again, I've always been peace through strength. Strength could mean a nuclear weapon at that point. But just about 25 minutes ago, President Trump said, congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended officially. Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. And upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. Now, we can, everybody say a prayer that both Israel and Iran keep their word on this. I think the other day when Trump made his speech, after we did it live, and I was sick on Saturday, I was feeling like crap. But I laid down and I couldn't go to sleep. I took some NyQuil and I started putting his speech on repeat. And I could tell you, the strike on Iran was not as easy as a decision as people want to make it look to be, in my opinion. I think I've listened to Trump enough. I think you guys know that. I listen, and sometimes I try to listen to cracking in voices. I've been to probably more rallies than a lot of people. I've taken you guys with us to these rallies. And when he said, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up really quick because I want you to listen to this.
The U.S. military
Listen to
carried
this.
out massive precision strikes on the Middle East machines tonight. Minds involved in this attack. The most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight.
Listen to this right here.
Not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want
Right
to
there.
just
I
say
want you to
we love
listen
you,
to-
God, and we love our great military. Protect them. Of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press
Listen to when he
conference at
says
8 a.m.
God.
at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He ran. And I will tell you this, Trump is one of those guys. He's egotistical. That's what's good thing about having a leader that's egotistical. If he ran on being the peace president, that's what he wants, whatever it takes to get peace. And when I kept listening to that, and when he said God, it was like it was coming from his gut. Like, please, God, we made a strategic decision. Let this work out and benefit not only the American people, but the people of the Middle East. He talks all the time how he's concerned about the Ukrainians that are dying, the Russians that are dying in the stupid wars. And I pray, and I think we all need to pray, that this war will end in a ceasefire. I don't know what's going to happen to Iran. I think by tomorrow, a judge is going to come out and order Trump to rebuild the nuclear sites. I wouldn't doubt it from everything we've seen from our district court judges. But if this goes the way it is, and only time will tell, I'm not going to get, you're not going to count your eggs before they're hatched. Trump has some great advisors. And I can tell you, when Trump said he's wanted to do this for a long time, I think he really has. He wanted to send a message not only to Iran, but the world, that he is not afraid to take action if it means the sovereignty of the United States. And there was a lot of people that wanted us in war. I used to love Mark Levin. I don't listen to him hardly at all anymore. I used to listen to him when I listened to AM radio. And I think he's an intelligent guy. But I was listening to some of his stuff right now, and he's just like, oh, we got to obliterate, all this stuff. And I'm like, there's times I feel like that too. I use the term Lake Iran. Just drop it. Get rid of it. But there's good people in Iran. And again, Iran has been behind almost every conflict in the Middle East. And I want to thank Jan. Again, Jan Garner did a donation challenge in the chat. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate you. And before that came out, Trump put, congratulations, world. It's time for peace. Again, weren't sure what to think this morning. I think all of us were like, man, because we know if American soldiers would have been killed this morning, I think Iran would have been obliterated. And I think they knew that too. That's why they called and gave a warning to evacuate. They gave the United States and all our partners time to get those defense stuff ready. I mean, they're always on the ready, but you know what I mean. It's nice when you have a heads up. And so let's honestly pray that this is going to be a good start. And again, we're going to look at the end of the show to see what the left is saying right now, because again, if this is the case, what a great win for Donald Trump. The 12-day war, and the reason why he wants to call it the 12-day war is because he successfully ended that war with some B-2 bombers and some bombs that dig pretty deep into the ground. Listen to this, though. I want you to listen to this. This was some U.S. soldiers on the ground, and just for poops and giggles, take a listen.
You're saying run.
That's
Hell
us.
yeah. That's us. Hell yeah, that's
Fuck yeah!
Birds away!
Birds away!
Oh wait, fuck. Where they at? Oh, fuck.
Hey! Hey! Splash! Splash! Splash!
Fireball, bitch! Fireball! Hey, birds away! Suck on my red, white, and blue dick!
Listen to what he said right there. I know it's a little inappropriate for PG-13, but he says, suck my red, white, and blue. This is the patriotism of our service members, guys. I mean, they're out there. They know they're dominant.
Hey! Suck on my red, white, and blue dick! Yo! Grand slam, baby! Grand fucking slam! Grand fucking.
So that was our military crew out there watching the defense from the Patriot missiles take out what was launched from Iran. And so, and a lot of people were saying, even some people that consider themselves pretty good predictors, we talked about it a little bit. We talked about Trump warning that these companies and stuff better not hurt our price of gasoline with the price of oil. And New York Times put this out. Breaking news, oil prices fell more than 7% and stock rose as investors appeared optimistic that fallout from the U.S.-Iran conflict would be contained. This was before the ceasefire. This was before the end of the war, we hope. Kind of interesting. I seen somebody else that their whole video They class themselves on knowing everything, and their whole video was gas prices to surge and all this other stuff. Thought it was interesting. Now, when this happens, we seen Palestinian flags for a while, Hamas flags for a while. It went Palestinian, then we had Hamas, then we had Mexico flags, and now they're selling out of Iran flags because people just hate America. There is a good percentage of this country that absolutely wants to see America destroyed. They hate our superiority. They hate our values. They hate that we are the most giving country of the nation. How about this one? Jonathan A.C. Brown. This is a professor at Georgetown University. And this was from Libs of TikTok. And there's a follow-up on this one. This is why I want to bring this up. I'm not an expert, but I assume Iran could still get a bomb easily. I hope Iran does some symbolic strike on a base. Then everyone stops. This professor at Georgetown wanted Iran to somehow acquire one of the nukes from someone else and do a symbolic strike on a base. These are your professors, guys. Georgetown University. Man, but the crazy thing is, and we'll get into that in a minute, you got your children out there fighting for us, your grandchildren, your friends, your neighbors, family members, and who would ever want that done? And I get it, the left. I mean, just like what they're doing to ICE members that are doing the same job that our military is. They're just doing it in domestically. We see how they've been treated. We had 2 vehicles rammed over the weekend in Los Angeles when they were trying to conduct ICE raids, which is an attempted murder. It's insane. B. Mikey gifted 5 subscriptions to the Oreo Express. Thank you, B. Mikey. Appreciate your support. Thank you, guys. Now, let's check out the next screen we have here. And the sister and brother-in-law of the Georgetown professor that said he hoped they would do a symbolic strike on one of our bases are both JAG Corps officers in the U.S. Army. They both work in the Pentagon. Look at this. Criminal Law Division, OT JAG, Army Pentagon. That's Kevin M. Adams, and Catherine M. Adams. Strategic Initiatives Office. Now, the reason why this could be concerning to some is because we've seen with O'Keefe Media Group and other undercover journalists that a lot of these people that are embedded in our federal government, whether it be the Pentagon, whether it be the IRS, there's a cancer involved. They are not America first. They are not pro-Trump's agenda. They are doing everything they can to work against it. We played that video from O'Keefe Media Group the other day. We have a lot of undercover videos of people lying, purposeful, on applications for illegal aliens to get them housing, healthcare, EBT, when we have American citizens suffering. It's going to be interesting what happens here. But a brother and a sister that works in the Pentagon for Pete Hegseth. What do we got here? We got First Amendment Media says, Jalen birthday challenge for Josh. She will be 54. Let's get $54 by the end of the show. Thank you, Matt. Happy early birthday, Jalen. Man, 54? As long as you don't get as old as Matt and start snoring like him, I think you'll be okay. And Miss Hayes 98 says, happy early birthday, Jalen. Thank you, Matt and Jalen. And thank you, Miss Hayes. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Man. I thought you were going to do something special for her. You said all week long would be her birthday, right? Isn't that what women get? Like a month birthday celebration if your birthday's June 28th? I know that's what I have to deal with in my house. Soon as June 1st comes, well, that's my birthday month. And then like on my birthday, I'm like, hey, my birthday's tomorrow. Yeah, I know. One of those things about being a guy, folks. Check this out. This was just in. The Pentagon has released footage showing the B-2 stealth bombers before and after executing Operation Midnight Hammer in Iran, leaving at 12:01 a.m. Saturday and returning 37 hours later. This is kind of cool to watch. Look at those bad boys in the air. Look at that. I want to fly in one just once. I'll have to write old Pete a letter. Let me live stream a flight in one of those things. Mission complete. Mission complete. Look at that thing. That's absolutely epic. Job well done. Job well done. So let's get into a good court case. We had some bad ones over the weekend. I didn't know they worked on judges would release people on Sundays, but they do. Patricia Joy says, birthday blessings on behalf of Jalen. Thank you, Patricia Joy. The Supreme Court has granted Trump's emergency request to resume deporting migrants to countries other than their homeland. So remember, when Trump was running, one of the things they said is, well, what are you going to do when you have a country that won't take back their people? He goes, well, we'll make them take them back or we'll ship them somewhere else. And, oh, you can't do that. Well, the Supreme Court just granted President Trump's emergency request. It was a 6-3 vote. It's a good one. They can get back on the saddle again and head out and be to their new home. To their new home. Mom X Swift says, happy early birthday, Jalen. Let's get Josh to 54. Thank you, Mom X Swift. And again, thank you, Matt and Jalen. Appreciate you. So, other news that happened over the weekend. We covered this. I believe it was, might have been Saturday, might have been Friday. But AOC. We had a judge issue an order that said they must release Mahmoud Khalil back to New York City. And guess who escorted him? Yeah, you'll guess. Take a look at this. say deport them all. We can't live or coexist with people like that. J-Law Bronco with the $10. Raffle and new Speedwagon fund. Thank you, J-Law. Appreciate you. And thank you for everybody who donates and helps out. It didn't take 24 hours until he was back on the streets being an anti-Semite. I don't know if I pulled up those videos yet. No, I will pull up one really quick just to show you guys, again, what he was back doing within, I think it was less than 24 hours of his release. I didn't have this pulled up.
You're supporting genocide! You're supporting genocide!
Guys, move this way. Move. Going this way.
Now he gets private security.
I got you.
So, I will never understand this. Matt, $5 more says, now I'm in the raffle. Got a total of 10 in there. Thank you, Matt. I'll never understand that. If that flag in that country is so great, go there. Defend it. See what happens when you lose America's freedom, since it's such a horrible place. If it was such a horrible place, you wouldn't be here, and you know it. You're a coward and a loser. And America, I promise you, is waking up to this. We got some videos from over the weekend about these people protesting outside the hotels because of ICE facilities, waving their foreign flags. And I just find it absolutely insane. How about this one? Another one. A federal magistrate judge just denied a motion to keep Kilmer Abrego Garcia in custody for human trafficking charges pending the trial. Now, you guys remember Kilmer. We covered it. He was over there in El Salvador. What is it? CECOT. We had senators, Congress people fly over there, have margaritas with them, all Democrats. You don't see that when an American citizen's murdered by an illegal alien, or we have true suffrage here in our homeland because of the invasion that happened during the last 4 years. But to sit here, I mean, we got video of this guy. 2 judges, immigration judges, have already put down in their records that he's an MS-13 gang member, all these different things. And of course, another activist rogue judge. And then I seen this, it says, let's pull this
Accused
up.
of trafficking. Our senior reporter, Catherine Folders, has been following Kilmer Abrego Garcia, appeared in a Tennessee court Friday on charges of transporting undocumented migrants within the long conspiracy. The next hearing is Friday, and if convicted, Abrego Garcia could face up to 10 years in prison for each person he's accused of trafficking. Our senior reporter, Catherine Folders, has been following the story closely. So the DOJ just filed these new documents ahead of Friday's hearing, contending the government is entitled to a pretrial detention hearing in Abrego Garcia's case. Tell us what their arguments are here.
Yeah, so those papers, Kira, that they filed were arguing, as you note, for Abrego Garcia to have this detention hearing. The reason that they are filing these papers is that magistrate judge who saw him in court on Friday for the first time brought up the possibility that maybe the charges don't really fall under those that might be relevant for a detention hearing. And DOJ argues that because in their papers they say that there were some minors, for example, children involved in these alleged trips that Kilmer Abrego Garcia took with undocumented migrants, that it does fall under the need for a detention hearing. Now, the next thing that we will see is the lawyers for Abrego Garcia will file papers, presumably arguing that their client doesn't need to be detained, that there's no need for a detention hearing. But say this all goes forward, they're likely will be a hearing on Friday, and it will be a series of hearings. It will be a hearing about whether to have a detention hearing, then a detention hearing if the magistrate judge determines that there should be one, and then he will be arraigned. So that is all coming up this week. Between now and then, I'm sure we will see more papers filed by his lawyers and maybe a response from the government.
Well, Abrego Garcia is still embroiled in this civil.
So ICE has said they will be placing a detainer on him and keep him in their custody. It's just amazing. He's had an order for removal for a long time. He's went through all his proceedings. Again, this is the George Floyd for the Democrat Party right now. They've laid off him a little. Once more evidence and videos came out, all the court transcripts, what his wife said about how many times he beat her, how he's a threat. And then they called him the Maryland man, the Maryland dad. Remember that? The Maryland father. And they're like, oh, well, actually the father of those children talked to a judge and said he was a gang member and he didn't want his kids around him. You just can't make this stuff up. You just can't. It's just insane. Speaking of craziness, Gavin Newsom's partner, not wife, partner. I don't know if she's upset because she's with Gavin.
And yet here,
take a listen to this.
We are a country of immigrants. That is just a fact. And yet here we are watching families be targeted, watched, hunted, farm workers being chased across fields. These are some of the hardest working people on earth, and they literally feed the nation. Shame on this federal administration for doing this. Shame on them for choosing cruelty, for terrifying families, ruining children's lives just to make a political point. Whose interpretation of Christian values is this? What happened to being the party of family values? This shouldn't be about politics. This should be about people, their well-being, our shared humanity. If you could see these families, hear from them, these moms, their children. Today I heard from community members who have lost loved ones to suicide because of the trauma and pain being inflicted on the immigrant community. If you looked into their eyes, you would understand, you would feel it. You would know this was wrong. We have to do better.
Man, love it, love it. So last night in Santa Ana, California, foreign nationals were harassing hotel guests because there was rumors of ICE federal officers staying at the hotel. This is some video we captured on a screen record.
Let's go!
Get the fuck out of the seat!
Do you think ICE is staying here?
No, someone said that they were staying here.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So that was Santa Ana, and then I got some clips from Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach, California. And you know what? We might be working. I have something going on that is working with another group right now that's trying to do something. I don't know if I'm going to be working with them or not this weekend, but I might go to one of these hotels and get a good night's sleep there, if you know what I mean. This was in Huntington Beach. And so if you guys know anything about Huntington Beach, they do have some ordinances that don't apply to that. But horn honking. So while I'm peeping in on this stream last night, I noticed that people would drive by honking, showing their support, and they were getting a horn honking ticket. And I was listening to people say, oh, that's against the law. Well, they did that, if you guys remember, in 2020. No, 2020. 21, the end of March, they gave Rachel a horn honking ticket in the middle of daytime. It was about 11:30 a.m. She met us down there. Caden was only like 3 weeks old. There was a Trump rally going on, and so she wanted to meet us down there and take him to the beach. And when she drove by, she honked. She had, I think, Caden and my daughter and my daughter's friend. And she got that ticket. It was like $200 and something. And so last night I'm listening to this and listen to what they say right here. And I missed it, but a car drove by honking their horn, showing support, and cops pulled out parking lot and got them. Listen to the person on the stream right here. They want to get a piece of cardboard and write "Don't honk" on it, so they can give people a warning about the ticket. Like it's big, like this big. So I'm pretty sure they gave quite a few tickets out on the stream. I seen 2, but then I heard them talking about other ones that got a ticket out there. They have people out there doxing our ICE agents. Again, the assaults on law enforcement, our federal officers are up 500% because of the rhetoric of the Democrats and elected leaders throughout California and in the Senate and Congress. You even have people wanting to enact bills where they cannot conceal their identity so that their families could be doxxed. I want you to listen to Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons. Listen to this.
People are flagging where their hotels are this weekend. Consistent, especially with what I've said every time I've had the opportunity to speak about the brave men and women of ICE, is the fact that if you look before January 20th and even after January 20th, the men and women of ICE did not have to have masks on their face. Me personally, I don't want those officers having to wear those masks because it's hot, it's dangerous. But you look at what's going on right now. ICE agents are being doxxed at a horrible rate. You know, over the weekend we had ICE officers' names, addresses, families, Instagrams, Facebook, posted and spread all around the city of Portland saying no rest for ICE. And you're seeing it in Los Angeles. People are flagging where their hotels are this weekend. Instead of having peaceful protests at spots in Los Angeles, they had agents' cars rammed and surrounded in intersections. There has to be a point where we can work with elected officials to come up with ways to ensure that ICE is able to do their mission safely, and the men and women of ICE do not have to worry about political rhetoric or outside agitators affecting their jobs, families, their safety, things like that. It's time that, you know, common sense needs to prevail in this, and ICE needs to be seen as the effective law enforcement tool it is. But we also need the help of elected officials. They need to help us not only do our job, but keep the men and women of ICE safe.
Yeah, so what?
So you see it doxing all over Instagram accounts, family members. They want these people, they want ICE to be scared to go out and do their job. Just like people were scared to go out and do shopping during the BLM riots, people stayed home. It hurt the economy, you know, the real economy, not the illegal alien economy that we're going to talk about here in a minute. This is what's going on, folks. This is what we need to understand. And I'm hoping the one big, beautiful bill passes. That is 10,000 extra ICE agents. You want to talk about getting people out of this country? We need warp speed. And what we are learning now is that our numbers of how many illegal aliens just in California, pretty sure they were severely underestimated. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Raider 208, I think the cuss jar is about to get red. Thank you for that $20 Rumble rant, Raider. Appreciate you. Again, it's against the law to do this. There's a federal law, USC. I don't have it off the top of my head. I have it in my files. But we are arresting people. I know in Los Angeles, I know the FBI has arrested, since these riots have started, 700 on federal charges. Not state and local where they'll be dropped, but federal. And then Gavin Newsom put this video out here. And of course, you always know there's more to the story, right? It said Donald Trump's America, father of 3 U.S. Marines, is brutally beaten by federal agents. Take a look. First off, he's resisting there, but that's not the big spot. Do you see what's on the ground right there? A weed eater. And I don't care who he's a father of. You know, he gets arrested. It doesn't matter if you have 15 kids. Doesn't matter. You break the law, you break the law. You know, they keep saying, but you can't send them to jail. They have kids. The Democrats' logic on all this is just crazy. But let's go over, because Gavin Newsom seemed to edit some stuff out. He resisted arrest. He threatened agents with his weed eater, his weed whacker, and tried to evade arrest. Come on, Gavin. Let's take a closer look. Look at that. Just a dad. Just another Maryland dad. And he's resisting. You can force compliance. You can force compliance. Trust me. That's not the first person that ICE is going to do that to, and it's not the last. But imagine, I just want to say, Gavin Newsom, if I was protesting outside your house and officers went to arrest me and I had a power tool and went after him, you wouldn't be crying when I was resisting arrest and that I was being subdued so they could put some handcuffs on me. But I love to spin on things, guys. I just love to spin on things. Really quick, let me pull this up. Let's see if it's, we'll go to the next one. Now, we've been talking a lot about the fake economy. Gavin Newsom continues saying that we're the 4th largest economy in the world, right? Take a look at this. This is a Santa Fe swap meet. In Fresno, there was rumors that ICE would be at our cherry auction, a Fresno cherry auction. Robert and Amber, we were out of town. Robert and Amber went by there, and they said there was hardly anybody there. And me, Robert and Amber and Rachel and Caden went to that swap meet about 6 to 8 weeks ago. Go check it out, see what kind of fruit they had and stuff. It was packed. There was only a couple vendors there. It just goes to show you all these people that are working illegally under the table, not legally, breaking multiple laws. We'll look at the Santa Fe swap meet.
The line for the alcohol, you see how the chains are? And there's no one.
Let me refresh it.
And this is the way it looks inside. Like I said, on normal Saturday, this is full. Nowhere to sit, nowhere to stand. The line for the alcohol, you see how the chains are? And there's no one here.
Empty. Empty. There's a family of 4 there, 5. So Gavin Newsom's economy is on the backs of slave illegal alien labor. And again, this is exposing a lot more than most people thought it would expose when we started this. I think we have underestimated the amount of illegal aliens. I'm going to say you're probably looking at 8 million illegal aliens in the state of California alone. Before we move on to our next story, really quick, don't have no coffee. I got iced tea today, but still haven't tried 1775 coffee. Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, and there's only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions. And a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. That's $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who have been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler alert, it is. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe in. Head over to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone, guys. Let's see what else we got. Well, the economy, guys. We got the 4th largest economy in the world, Gavin Newsom says.
Right, folks were afraid to come out, and one of the owners of Casa Fina restaurant in Boyle Heights. It's been a staple in the area of Boyle Heights. Normally on Father's Day, we're packed. We have people waiting about 20 minutes. On that Sunday, I mean, it was just, there was nobody there. Right, folks were afraid to come out, and now we have to consider about what do we do with our employees. Right, we have no money coming in. It's just the raids in the city, and it's scaring our folks. It's scaring our people, and it has to stop, or a lot of folks are going to lose their jobs.
Now, we talked about this. I don't want to see people lose their jobs. I don't want to see businesses go under. But when you have a falsely inflated economy, it will crash when you clean it out, right? So if you have, and I'm just going to use an example, 1 million people in a town, and we kind of said this the other day, and you have 10 grocery stores, and 30% of those people are illegal aliens, and they get deported. Guess what? You're going to lose 30% of your grocery stores because there is not a need or a demand anymore. And that's what we are seeing, a falsely inflated economy off the backs of slave labor illegal aliens. They drive down everybody's wages. This is the number one thing that hurts wages. Farmers do it. Yes, people on the Republican side do it. Business owners do it. A lot of people do this. There's a lot of these private, these hotels. You go into some of these hotels. A lot of Indians own some of these hotels, and they find illegal aliens to work for them. Minimum wage, whatever it is, it's got off a lot here. $16.75, $17.50 an hour in California. I don't even know. It just keeps going up. Prices keep going up because minimum wage keeps going up, and they're paying them $12 an hour. And they're not getting overtime. They're working 10 hours a day, but they're okay with it because they're living a better life off $12 an hour than they ever would in Mexico. I'll never understand how those people hold those Mexican flags and they're so proud of it, but they're living here in the United States. You're free to leave at any time. If you don't want to respect our flag, respect our country, well, maybe it's time for you to go. And I can tell you, this is not working. These protests are doing the same thing BLM protests are doing. And I can tell you because I wear all my MAGA gear when I go out all the time, and there's people out there that'll say, I'm not that big into politics. I didn't even vote for Trump, but we need to get rid of these illegals. Or I didn't even vote in the election. But again, they are so turned off by the truth and the violence and what is going on in LA and other places. Portland's a fine example, and we're going to talk about Portland here in a minute and some of the arrests that have been made. But this is backfiring on them. What Democrats can badmouth Trump all they want. And we're going to be done with the show in a little while. But when we're done, we're not done, because we're going to go see the comments of the paid influencers about what they're saying on the 12-day war, the ending of the 12-day war. Oh, I already know what they're going to say. I was just thinking about it. Remember how Trump staged his own shooting? Person died at Butler, Pennsylvania. It was staged so Trump could win the election. They're going to say this war was staged as well. It wasn't a real war. Watch. These Blue Anon people are just crazy. Let's see here. Now, you guys seen this video? I wanted to play this. I thought it was heroic.
Up to them. They were.
I want to give credit where
This
credit
is your
is due.
very first.
The guy that when somebody threw like a can or something, rock at one of these officers, and the guy jumped on him, tackled him, just bear picked him up.
Since a video of you body rioter went viral. Millions have seen that video, Dan. Tell us more. What's the backstory? Why were you out there that day?
I watched these two men taunting the police. They'd walk up to them. They were swearing, F this, F that. They're, throwing up gang signs, clearly just trying to start a fight. I saw one of the guys turn and face the crowd and he was adjusting his shirt. I noticed something tucked in his waistband, and I noticed people nearby signaling his waistband. Then they started backing up quickly. I saw that same guy take it was a full can, and I saw him, throw it at officers. When the guy turned and reached for his waistband, I knew what I had to do.
This is your very first interview since a
Not all heroes wear capes, folks. Not all heroes wear capes. I'm sure the left, after he did this interview, is calling him racist. It's a badge of honor anymore. Because if you're for law and order, if you're for America first, you're considered a racist these days. News, the Department of Justice has charged 6 more Portland Antifa agitators over attacks carried out at the ICE facility. Charges include assaulting federal police, blinding officers with lasers, and attempting to trap federal agents inside the facility. Take a look at some of these pictures. All a bunch of winners right there. This is on the Post Millennial. We'll open that up and see if let's see. It says on Friday, the Department of Justice charged 6 additional Antifa-affiliated individuals accused of carrying out criminal acts during anti-ICE direct actions at the U.S. Immigrations and Custom Enforcement Facility in Portland, Oregon. The defendants were arraigned in U.S. District Court on June 20th. Charges, we already went through the charges. Samuel Tate Berry, 29, a trans Antifa militant and repeat riot offender, has been charged with criminal complaint with assaulting a federal officer and failure to comply with official signs and directions. According to an FBI complaint, Berry allegedly struck a BORTAC agent over the head with a shield while federal officers were moved to clear illicit blockade that was blocking the driveway entrance to the ICE facility on June 18th. That's beautiful. Andrew James Beeson, 53, of Beavertown, Oregon, has been charged with failing to obey a lawful order on June 18th. Let's see. Liam Harry Hoopus, 22, of Vancouver, Washington, has been charged with creating a hazard on federal property on June 19th. After several dozen protesters gathered at the ICE facility, defendant Hoopus allegedly made an effort to trap federal officers inside the building. Good job, federal officers. Eduardo Diaz Guardado, of 22, of Vancouver, Washington, has been charged with assaulting a federal police officer. Looks like he was observed on June 18th using a high-powered laser to strike an officer in the eye, which causes temporary blindness. Nokomis Lee, 22, of Grand Ronde, Oregon, has been charged with failing to obey a lawful order. Let's keep them coming, folks. Let's keep them coming. And then we got another one right here. Andy No says, unmask a suspected Portland Antifa federal arrestee, Eli Victor McKenzie, is another Mel riot suspect who identifies as a woman. What's up with all this trans terrorism? Why are these people so violent? Why don't these people have jobs? Why don't they do anything productive? We need to get them help for their mental illness and stop playing this game. There is an epidemic going on in this country with trans violence. We had to deal with it 3 weeks ago. It's going on all across the country. It says McKenzie, who uses the alias Mara, weighs 260 pounds and is over 6 feet tall. In January 2024, McKenzie was convicted of first-degree criminal mischief for a pro-Hamas riot he participated in November. The felony was allowed to be pleaded down to a misdemeanor, and he was sentenced to just 6 months probation and a sweetheart deal. Fellow riot arrestee Sienna Otero and a person named Robert Johnson paid the majority of McKenzie's $15,925 restitution for the violent attack. With access to resources, McKenzie has privately retained attorney Ryan Anfuso to defend him in his new federal case. Holy cow. I'm gonna be nice. Dang, look at that guy. Towers over those police. There it is. People paying for it.
Yeah. I will stab you. Yeah. 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 I will stab you. Yeah. Yeah.
These people are not normal, folks.
I will stab you.
That is not normal behavior. We're not going to find a video of any of us sitting there. Man. Now, let's see what is new on the web. Now, we got to see what folks are saying about the ceasefire agreement and hopefully the end to the war. Let's see. 5 minutes ago, Senator Schumer, they want a war powers resolution. Only Democrats can bomb evil people. Says Iran officially rejects Trump and not Netanyahu's attempted to back out. Says it's going to keep attacking. That was from CNN. Says Iran has not received any ceasefire proposal. Again, CNN, we don't know. Then KTLA 5 isn't reporting that. They're saying President Trump declared the 12-day war between Israel and Iran as likely ending in a ceasefire, validating the strategic gamble of devastating U.S. airstrikes this weekend at 3 nuclear sites. Let's see. Oh, wow. Former Vice President Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, joins USC Law School faculty. Oh, great. Let's see. An Iranian official confirms to Reuters they've accepted the U.S. proposed ceasefire deal with Israel. And that's from the Democrats themselves, Republicans against Trump. They're not Republicans. They just use that name to try to sway people. Let me see what else we got here. course, warmonger Lindsey Graham. To our friends in Israel, finish the job. Do what you have to do to bring the regime change that will allow your children to sleep through the night. To the American people, wake up. Lindsey Graham needs this war, bud. Look
With
at
you. How do you get that? Two ways. Here's my goal, is to have people in charge of Iran who don't want a nuclear weapon to destroy Israel, who will not be the largest state sponsor of terrorism, but live in peace with their neighbors and have a good relationship with the United States. That's what I want. And if you don't want that, there's something wrong with you. How do you get that? Two ways. The religious fanatics reject their agenda. They change their behavior. Maybe that'll happen, I don't know. Or you change the people. And you replace the religious fanatics with people in Iran who do not want to destroy the world, who do not.
I got the comments, guys. I'm still doing something. I promise you we'll be able to bring that up in a minute.
Want to create a master religion, who want to live in peace. And I think that's the vast majority of the Iranians. If we get this right, stick with Israel, stand up to this bully, this religious fanatical regime, let Israel do what they need to do, then I think peace is coming.
He wants war more than anything. He wants more than anything. Just crazy. So CNN again lied. Fake news. It said Iran has not received any ceasefire proposal. Senior official says. We got confirmation they did. Let me look at the White House one. And that's not uncommon for the White House to go through this. Let's see. Bomb threat has been reported near the White House, prompting the evacuation of all surrounding buildings. It's going to be nothing. Promise you that. Again, just more propaganda, more stuff to put in the way. Let's see. Bomb threat, prompting evacuation. Nothing that shows anything's legitimate, except maybe they used AI or something to call in a bomb threat. Bomb threat reported near, not even at the White House, just near the White House. And usually when they say near, it could be blocks away. That's all the information there is on that. Speculating. Some of 15th Street near the White House has been evacuated. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Let's see. If there's anything else other than Lindsey Graham fighting for war. Lindsey Graham, man. I'm glad we chased him out of the airport.
It's up to the Iranian people what the American national security. I think what the president is saying very clearly, Brett, is if the Iranian people want to do something about their own leadership, that's up to the Iranian people. What the American national security interest here is very simple. It's to destroy the nuclear program. That's what we've done. And now that the 12-day war appears to be effectively over, we have an opportunity, I think, to restart a real peace process. And Brett, this is not just about two countries, Iran and Israel. All of these Gulf Arab states, they want peace.
I just wanted to see if that was any update because it was posted 1 hour ago about the time that how long we've been live? Hour and a half. The White House posted trust in Trump. Trust in Trump. Let's pray Again, say a prayer. We want peace. We want all this to happen. So, you know what? We'll be around. Oh, don't forget, we have a raffle going on, guys. We're going to be doing the raffle Friday. If we go out of town Thursday, we'll probably do the raffle Thursday morning or Wednesday afternoon. So if you guys want to get into our raffle, we got some gear, or we got some souvenirs from our DC trip at the 250th Army celebration. And then we have this shirt as well. This was donated by my sister. This is a large Gulf of America shirt. She got us that when she went to the Gulf of America. We got this Trump 2024 Fight, Fight, Fight magnet. We got a double XL Army shirt, 250 from the event that day. Check that out. So that is a double XL. And then we have the U.S. Army hat celebrating 250 years and the Trump 2028 hat, guys. If you want to get into that, each $10 donation gets you in for one entry. If you do $30, that's 3 entries. You guys can donate through Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. If you do online banking or mobile banking and you want to do a Zelle transfer, our Zelle link is on our website at theoreoexpress.com. You can scroll down our homepage. It has a donate now button. Again, we are 100% viewer funded. Everything is blessed by you guys, and we want to say thank you. Let me also throw this out there really quick. Let's see. If you're looking for a great place online for news, discussion, and entertainment, then check out Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media website. You'll get breaking news stories and commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary Truth Social post, then get on Truth Social today. Join a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voices heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social. And if you guys are on there, follow us, Oreo_Express. That's Oreo_Express. I want to say thank you to everybody who donated today, everybody who helps us out. Once again, you guys make it all possible. If anything goes breaking tonight, we will find a way to come live. I will talk to you guys soon, and thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
The Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land.